Good morning. It's August the 8th, 6 o'clock in the morning. And what we're doing today is making ratatouille. I got here in the sink 3 1-gallon bags of tomatoes that I've been storing up for about past 3 weeks. I core them, cut them in half, put them in these bags, put them in the freezer. So last night I took them out, put them in the sink. They're still partially frozen. So I'm going to get these in the pot, get the pot on the stove. Did I mention it was 6 o'clock in the morning? I'm going to get this going, and then I'm going to get some coffee. And I'll get back with you later. But I'm going to get these going, get some coffee, and then we'll talk. Alright? Alright, folks. It's 7 o'clock now. I just got my third bag of thawed frozen tomatoes and vegetables in there. Ratatouille is a combination of anything you got in the garden. It is largely tomato based. It's usually done in a saucepan. So this is my version of ratatouille. It's a collection of all the abundance. This was more eggplant, tomato, peppers, squash that I could use when all this stuff was being produced. So I gather it up, cut it up, put it in the freezer till I have enough for a pot. I'm going to keep this going, reduce it, and I have at least another bag full of fresh stuff that I just cut yesterday, that I just picked yesterday. One of the things about doing it this way, just a different way, is when you freeze it, you can take the skins right off this way at this time. Of course, you can blanch it and take the skins off, and that's perfectly great. I just have less time, less space, blah blah blah, and so this is the way I do it. And you can take them off, the skins off, before you put them in the pot. My bags just weren't completely thawed before I put it into the pot. So as I stir it and work with it throughout the day, whenever there's a skin on the top, I just pull it out. Or you can just leave the skins in there. That's my wife really prefers it that way, and so do I. Skins don't hurt nothing, but I don't know. I just thought I'd take the skins out today. Alright, so I'll keep you up to date here, step by step. When I start putting some fresh vegetables in here today, I'll bring you back. Alright folks, so it's almost 11 o'clock, so if I can do math at all, that means this has been cooking for 5 hours already. And it has reduced down a couple times, and I keep adding new stuff to it. Right there's a bunch of yellow summer squash. A friend of mine gave me 3 of them. I put 2 of them in there. I kept the youngest and skinniest one to saute up later maybe. So I've been reducing it, adding more stuff to it. Alright, so there's the squash that I'm keeping for later. And last night I went out in the garden and I picked this bucket full of tomatoes and this sink full of cucumbers and peppers. So I got the tray in the refrigerator, the crisper, full of cucumbers. I'm going to make some dill pickles. I'll work on that while that pot's reducing. And I'm going to work on getting more of these tomatoes in that pot of ratatouille. Keep it reducing and keep adding to it as I can get more tomatoes and eggplant. I got an eggplant that is ripe, ready to go. Probably gonna throw that in there because I got more eggplant than I can fry up and eat. So that's what Ratatouille is. You got more than you can eat. Cook it up. Make Ratatouille. Alright, I'll bring it back later. Alright folks, so we've had some discussion here with my wife about my pronunciation of Ratatouille or Ratatouille or Ratatouille. Look it up. Use the Disney pronunciation as the expert way of pronouncing a French word. And that's the end of that controversy. Ratatouille. Okay? So while the Ratatouille has been reducing, I've been putting a little bit more eggplant in there and some more tomatoes. So that's reduced at least 3 times, and I've added to it. So while that's still working for quite a while yet, I've got more tomatoes to go. I got these 2 bags of cucumbers cut up. And remember last weekend I made dill pickles and I made spears. And well, this time I'm going to make, I don't know, what do you call them, slices. When I eat these, I like to eat pickles with hummus. So I figure these will really go nice for dipping with hummus. And I tried some of those dill pickles and they came out exactly the way I wanted them. Remember I used apple cider vinegar, garlic, and red pepper flakes. I really wanted to jazz them up. Not just plain old dill pickles. They are jazzed up. So I'm going to put some salt in these here bags, and put them in the refrigerator for at least a couple hours. And we'll work on these pickles while the Ratatouille is reducing. Alright, we'll come back. Alright, it's 1:15. I just added the last that I'm going to add to this because I've used up everything, all the surplus out of my garden. I've just put in these tomatoes. These are those, they're green skin a lot. Now it's red because I put it in here. But they're the heritage tomatoes that I have out there. So I got this pretty thick. You know, I got to do a lot more reducing. I've reduced it and added vegetables to it 3 times. So I'm going to reduce this down by probably at least 25%. I wouldn't be surprised if this got down. Let me keep it at that. I'll say I'm going to reduce it down 25% because I've already reduced it a lot. And then kept adding more and more vegetables. So, have you decided how you're going to pronounce Ratatouille? Or Ratatouille? Leave a comment. Pretend you're the language police from France and tell us all how to pronounce Ratatouille. Alright? I still say look up the Disney version of pronouncing it. Alright, we'll be back with you. I'm working on those dill pickles. And I'll get the jars ready now. Alright, it's almost 5 o'clock. That means almost 11 hours. I got that reduced. So I started out with that full. And then I added 3 of this pot full of tomatoes, eggplants, peppers. I got it all reduced down to that. Getting ready to jar it up and get it in the Carey. And it's good. My wife spiced it for me. Alright, I got 5 of these pints jarred up. Just want to see if you can see the color of that sauce. It's nice and thick. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. So, reading my recipes and canning books about pressure canning. If this was just regular tomato sauce, I'd only have to do it for like 40 minutes. But because I guess the vegetables in there, other vegetables, they want me to do it for an hour. So once you got it in there, I guess it doesn't matter how long you do it. Alright, so I got high temp, 60 minutes. Press start. Got it on exhaust. I'll close that when it tells me to. Alright, I'll bring you back. So I've been wanting to review some of this food for you. This is the first batch of brats that I made. So I'm going to put them in this saucepan. And then I'm going to add a little bit of that sauce that I'm making right now. I'm going to heat that up and eat it. Look at that. Boom. Good meal just like that. Alright, there you go. Got them brats in there. A little carrot, a little bit of potatoes. Wonder what else it needs. What else would really top that off? How about, bam, a little bit of shaved Parmesan. Does that look good? Bam. Alright. Sorry to do this to you, but now I gotta eat it. So I got one batch done in the Carey. I'm getting the second batch ready. I just to can up, get in the Carey. I just want to show you how thick this sauce is. This is how I like to make. You know, I really call this sauce, but because it's every vegetable in the garden, I call it Ratatouille, and so it's nice and thick. And again, I don't believe in canning water. You know, so if you want to use it and make it thinner, add water to it. I like it the way it is. Alright, I'm going to get her done. Alright, it's time for my Sunday morning breakfast. You ready? Voila! So, let me explain something's going on here. First of all, I use a lot of olive oil in here, which is a very healthy fat. I use range-fed chickens for the eggs. Again, very healthy fat. The bacon is homemade, no nitrate stuff. The potatoes are what I canned up. Got a little bit of pepper in there for zing. I like that flavor in my food. So this is my Sunday morning breakfast. I only eat like this one morning a week, really out of because of time. I could do this a couple of days a week, no problem. But there you go. I've just ordered a smell cam, so that when I do this, you can smell it when I'm cooking. So there you go. There's my Sunday morning breakfast. I'm going to get back to it and do a little bit more canning today. I'll check with you later. Alright folks, I'm making something that I think is really special. I'm really happy and excited about making today. I'm going to can up a bunch of beans, but I'm getting my freezer ready. I buy a half a pig for my sister every year, and this is the jowl. This is, I kind of forgot about it. I know I got another one in there. So I'm going to cut this up, slice it up, dice it up, and put it in the jars with beans, some little peppers, a little onion. I also have a heart and a loin. So I'm going to get this all cut up. I'm going to season it with some barbecue sauce probably, or dry rub. And I'll bring you back when I got something else done. This is good stuff, man. I'm telling you, good stuff. This is great bacon. Alright, so this is what I've done. I put a half a cup of soaked beans in there. I just drained them and rinsed them. sorted them out, put a half a cup of beans in there, and then I put my little scale here. I put it on 0 with the tare weight, and I put 4 ounces of meat in each container. I just wanted to get some consistency. I had the scale right here. Here's the ham hock, ham heart, and the tenderloin. Especially the tenderloin, I don't really care for it at all. You know, it's very, very lean, and if that's what you want, great. But I got this ham hock in here, smoked ham hock. Doesn't get any better than that, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up a slice of onion. I put some garlic powder in here and tossed it. And I'm going to put a slice of onion in each one of these containers, and a little bit of hot peppers from my garden. And get it into Carey. Alright, this is going to be good. I might have to eat one of these for dinner tonight. I have enough for another whole batch probably. Alright, eat your heart out. Alright folks, so I got that, the beans, the ham, a little pepper in there, and 1 slice of onion on top. That's one thing I've learned. I buy smaller onions. That way I don't have any waste. By the time I get done peeling it, getting the outer layers off, then I slice it and it fits right in these jars perfect. So this is going to be good stuff, folks. You know, I come from a farming background, and you know, organ meat, smoked meat, man, it just doesn't get any better than that. And you know, I'm looking forward to this. That's all. Goodbye. Alright, so this one jar, can you see it in there? I put red pepper flakes in one of these jars, just to jazz it up. Alright, so we got 5 pints in the Carey. Close the lid. Make sure it's on exhaust. We're going to do this on high pressure. We're going to do it for 75 minutes. Oop. Alright, press start. There we go. It's all up to the Carey now. I'll have to close that vent off when the 75 minutes starts. So, alright. Now I get to take a little break, eat some lunch. I got a couple hours before the next batch has to come in. Alright. Alright folks, it's time to do this week's tally of canning with the Carey. Things are going pretty good. So we're going to start out with meal in a can batch here. Got some brats with little carrot, little onion, a little bit of potato. I got just 1 brat in there. Really, you know, I found 2 brats was too much. So I'm really trying to get it down to where I can open a jar, eat a jar. And keep on working on the, I did eat one of those jars. I want to try to do, tell you about what I ate and how good I liked it. I did like it. It's working out good. You know, I think I probably could perfect some spicing going on in there. More beans in the jar there with some banana pepper and some red pepper flake and some onion. This is the cleaning out the freezer. It's got the heart, it's got the smoked ham hock, and the tenderloin in there. That worked out pretty good. Haven't eaten that yet. There's the first batch of Ratatouille, however you figured out how to pronounce that. There's more of the cleaning out the freezer. Now these jars I overfilled them and I had to wash them. And I'm going to make sure I eat these first. They say if you boil these over, if you overfill them, that the fat can get in between the jar and the lid and maybe not have a forever seal. So I'm going to try to eat them up. I'm going to take one of them for lunch today. Won't be hard to do. I can do that. And I think this is oh yeah, here's another big story. Let me see if I can find, here we go. You know, I do want my jars to look good, but see how fuzzy that top of that lid is? And then you see how nice this lid is, at least can you tell in comparison? There you go. That's the only difference there is putting in some vinegar in the pressure canner. And this one I forgot to do it. And this one I did it. So you can clean them up pretty good, but still I want to try to keep doing that. So a while back I said, you know, I've always liked sweet pickles my whole life, but I got so many sweet pickles, I decided to do these dill pickles. And one thing I just found out is I have two types of pickles, the burpless and the Kirby's. Well, the Kirby's definitely make a crisper pickle, so I'll make sure I only pickle them from now on. But I also said I really like jazzed up food. I don't really care for dill pickle too much, but these dill pickles came out fantastic. You know, they got that little bit of red pepper flake in there, plenty of dill, a little bit of garlic. And I said I like to eat my pickles with hummus, and I am definitely a dill pickle convert. You know, one of the things that I like about them is I use more vinegar. I use 2 parts vinegar, 1 part water. So it's a higher concentration of vinegar than I use with the sweet pickles. And I use the apple cider vinegar. And these things will let you know you got something in your mouth. I like them. They really worked out good. And here I got 1 jar there of peppers. So this brings my total so far up to 133 jars that I've done so far with the Carey. And you know, I think the biggest problem I've had so far was this batch overflowing. You know, I filled it up to this bottom line. I gave it an inch headspace, and it was just too much. So when I made this batch, I just covered the beans. They were pre-soaked, and that's, you know, trial and error. I'll learn, and so you see the difference. And again, I don't believe in canning water, and obviously there's a lot more water in there, but I'll use it up. I'll eat it just fine. But I'm learning. You know, I soaked the beans overnight, and then I should have just covered the beans, and then I had the meat on top. So all in all, it's going really good. 133 jars. I didn't really start doing this with a goal, except for to work, be able to can while it was still hot. And that's what I've been doing the past 4 days, man. It's been 90 degrees on every day. I did it at least 1 or 2 batches. So there you got it, folks. I'm going to be making a lot more of the Ratatouille, because the garden is just really coming in really strong with tomatoes and eggplant and other vegetables I can make with that. So that's what we got. You see something you like, put it in a comment. We'll see if we can get you one. Alright, thanks for being there. Canning with the Carey. It's going really good.